ladies and gentlemen, we've hit the bottom of the hour. My name is Fred Holmes. I'm an independent distributor with ZG International, hold the rank of triple diamond with our company's compensation plan. It's my privilege to welcome you to our executive overview of ZG International and the income opportunity with ZG. This evening, we're going to share quite a bit of information over the next couple of minutes. We're going to talk about the 3 essential ingredients one would look for in developing a home-based business. We're going to have an opportunity to hear from a couple of the people that have been working with us in the field anywhere from, a few months to a couple of years now. And this information is really for those of you that are invited guests this evening. Perhaps a friend or maybe a family member or coworker has been sharing with you about the ZG income opportunity, perhaps our products. And so a very warm welcome to those of you that are invited guests. Now, this evening, we want to take a couple of minutes to talk about the 3 ingredients one looks for, the 3 essential items that one would look for in developing a home-based business in our industry. Those 3 ingredients specifically would be, number 1, first and foremost, the experience of the corporate team. Having a company with experienced leadership certainly makes a lot of sense. Secondly, we're going to talk about the products, and we're going to go into a little detail on that because there are certain kinds of products that lend themselves well in our industry to true long-term residual income. The third thing we're going to talk about is timing. Timing is certainly essential to all endeavors. And so that first topic, the experience of the corporate leadership, we are very fortunate that the founder of ZG International is a gentleman by the name of Ken Brailsford. Now, you may not recognize Ken's name, however, he is an icon in both the nutrition and direct marketing industries. Ken and his siblings were the founders of a company named Nature Sunshine back in the 70s, and many of you will recognize that company's name. Nature Sunshine, in 40 years, has become one of the industry's legacy companies. When we use that term, we talk about literally just about 24 companies in the history of our profession that have achieved over $1 billion in sales, have been in business 20 years or longer, and continue to grow to this day. Ken went on in the 80s to become the founder of Enrich International, another one of the industry's billion-dollar legacy companies, now in business approaching 30 years, today under the name of Unicity. And when you recognize that in this industry, over the probably 70 years that we've been in existence, and there have been literally, tens of thousands of companies that have come and gone, only 24 have stood the test of time. And Ken Brailsford has been the founder of 2 of those companies. He's the only man in history that has been able to accomplish that. And just a few short years ago, Ken came out of retirement to launch his 3rd and final project, ZG International. And when I first heard that Ken had come out of retirement, to me it was almost a given that this company would become another one of the industry's legacy companies. Now, in just a short 7 years since the original start date of ZG International, Ken has surrounded himself with some of the top names in the direct marketing or network marketing industry. Today, our corporate team has over 200 years of combined experience at some of the highest levels of some of the most successful companies in this industry. So arguably, if you're looking for a company with experienced corporate leadership, it goes without saying ZG International is the company in the industry with the most experienced corporate leadership. Now let's talk a little bit about the product. A lot of people, and I've had this said to me many times, Fred, wouldn't product be the most important ingredient? And common sense would say yes. However, what we've noticed over the years, we've seen companies with some really good products, in some cases exceptional products, and they're not around any longer. It takes more than just a great product to sustain a long-term business. However, products are the foundation of any successful company. Now, the things that you look for in our type of business, first and foremost, look for a product that is first to market. You want to be unique. You want to be first to market. That's always the company that goes to the highest level. Secondly, look for a product that is highly consumable, preferably something that's consumed on a daily basis, reordered on a monthly basis. That's what creates long-term customer purchases. But most importantly, and this is the key, look for a product that really works. Look for something that makes a meaningful difference in people's lives, because that's what will create loyalty and a long-term residual income. Well, we were very fortunate. What brought Ken Brailsford out of retirement began with an hour-long documentary that aired on the Discovery Channel. This documentary was introducing us to a botanical, a tree, if you will, by the name of Moringa oleifera. Now, pretty much unheard of in the Western world. What we were learning was that this botanical, this tree, a very small quantity of the powdered leaf of this tree was being used to literally reverse childhood starvation in as little as 2 weeks in some of the most impoverished and poverty and drought-stricken areas of the world. Now, since the original airing of that documentary, we have been truly overwhelmed by third-party validation of the nutritional power of this tree. There are today over 200 worldwide humanitarian organizations that support the use of the Moringa oleifera tree for nutritional purposes. Countless numbers of universities and medical schools, numerous governmental agencies. As a matter of fact, the National Institutes of Health, the NIH, they reported in 2008 in their April newsletter that the Moringa oleifera tree was the most nutrient-rich botanical that they had ever studied. And to date, that's over 5,000 botanicals that they have cataloged and studied. They even went on so far as to say that the Moringa oleifera tree had been used in traditional medicines for hundreds, in some cases perhaps thousands of years, to literally treat or cure over 300 diseases and ailments. Well, we were so fortunate that a couple of years before the launch of ZJ International, a friend of Ken Brailsford's forwarded to him a videotaped copy of that original documentary that aired on the Discovery Channel. And the uniqueness of that, Ken Brailsford is probably one of the few people in the world that would not only be able to recognize the power of this botanical, but have both the financial resources and the credibility in the industry to bring this product to market. And when he saw that video, he recognized he could do more good for mankind with a single botanical than he had done with the perhaps hundreds of other products from his previous two companies. And that was the launch of ZJ International. And a short 7 years ago, we started our company with our original product, our Moringa drink. And what it did is it provided an opportunity for people in the Western world to get complete nutrition, all of the nutrition the body needs, and a great tasting beverage they could easily consume on a daily basis. Now, today, we have actually developed our product line into 3 separate product divisions. We have our liquid nutritionals, with our, Moringa drink, of course, leading that up. We now have an all-healthy sports energy drink, the healthy alternative to the power drinks that are out there. And we know those companies, the Red Bulls and the Monsters and so on. I mean, that is a $1 billion-plus market alone. And we also know that they're just not good for us. We have the healthy, all-natural, organic alternative to that. We expanded into a second product division, our personal care line, a line of salon-quality skincare products infused with the power of the Moringa oleifera tree. The literature on the topical applications of Moringa is phenomenal. But what really launched the company into truly significant growth just a couple of years ago was our weight management systems. And I say weight management as opposed to weight loss. We have a healthy system in place to help people bring their bodies into balance, provide the nutrition they need, additional supplemental products, all natural, organic products to help reduce the appetite, improve the metabolism. And then finally, the third component of the system is our premium tea to help rid the body of the toxins and waste products that have been built up over the years. And to date, we have people that have used this weight management system to lose the 5 and 10 and 20 pounds that they wanted to lose. Others have gone on to lose 50 pounds, 100 pounds. Today we have people who have lost over 200 pounds. on our healthy weight management system. And what's exciting about that, they've been able to do that without drugs, without surgery, without dieting, without exercise, by simply providing the nutrition that the body needs. Well, what creates opportunity, folks, is when you have products that meet a genuine need, that they can be taken easily, that they're affordable, and what creates the opportunity for us is that they're available only through independent distributors of Zija products. Now, the third ingredient you look for is timing. And I want to talk about that in just a moment, but what I want to do right now is I want to go into the field and let you hear from a couple of people that have been working with us. We have Lindsay Ratson from Strathmore, Alberta, Canada, and Lindsay has already achieved in a very short period of time our position we call Builder 1000. What that really means is that on a part-time basis, she's been able to generate through her team sales of over $2,000 wholesale value of our company's products in a single week. And Lindsay, I'm excited to get a chance to speak with you. You've really gotten off to a great start. Maybe you can take a moment, share with the folks a little bit about, your background, why you got involved in Zija, and what you've been doing to launch your business so successfully.
Fantastic. Can you hear me okay, Mr. Holmes?
Yeah, I certainly can. Go right ahead, Lindsay.
Wonderful. Well, thank you for inviting me on the call tonight to share my Builder 1000 story, and I really thank you for your leadership. Well, my name is Lindsay Ratson, and I build from the Strathmore area, and I actually used to work full-time at a daycare as a toddler room supervisor, and it truly was a job of necessity for me at the time because I wanted to be home with my daughter, at least working at a job with my daughter, and know that she's getting the best quality of care rather than her sitting in front of a DVD player all day. So I went out and I actually got my level 1 in early childhood education, and I went to work. Now, working at a daycare is very rewarding with the kids, but I mean, it's also extremely highly stressful job, and it's also extremely disappointing to get your paychecks every 2 weeks and look at the numbers and see that that's what they determined my time was worth. I definitely disagreed with those numbers. But I actually had one of the moms come in one day and start to tell me about a tree. And I was skeptical in the beginning because we have a lot of people tell us about the next best thing. But through her persistence, I did try the products and had absolutely incredible results. I was hit by a truck actually when I was 5 years old. So I've always had really bad back pain, and as you can imagine, working in a daycare, bending over and picking up kids all day long really aggravated that back pain, and it was a very short amount of time that I didn't feel my back pain anymore, and I actually am very fortunate to say I still don't. And I also had energy through the roof, and again, when you work with kids, that's saying a lot. So I knew I needed to look more at the opportunity side, and I came in with a Builder 1 shortly after, and money was extremely tight for me at the time because I was getting married in just a couple of months, so I had to be very careful with my money. But I also knew that this was the opportunity for me to be able to change those money problems. So I came in with the Builder 1, and I'm very fortunate to say my initial purchase I made back in about 3 weeks. And I was able to hit Builder 1000 simply by following the system and doing what we all need to do, which is getting out there and sharing this. So if I can do it, a person with no background history in this industry, absolutely anybody can. And I'd like to thank you again for having me on the call, Mr. Holmes, and I will hand it back to you.
Lindsay, thank you so much, and congratulations. We're all extremely excited about how serious you're taking the opportunity and looking forward to hearing continued great results from you. And ladies and gentlemen, what you're hearing is people that are a product of the economy today. It's very difficult for the average person to provide not just the income necessary, but the lifestyle that people want to be able to be with their children as they're growing up and to develop a home-based business. Now, that third ingredient we talked about, timing. I think timing is probably an ingredient in every aspect of our life, but in particular in our profession of network marketing. We've learned over the years that the right time to get involved in a company isn't necessarily at the beginning. As I shared with you, there's only been a couple of handfuls of companies that have stood the test of time. Obviously, one of the things that one could do is look at one of those 24 long-term companies as a stable business. And that would be a great opportunity. However, you've passed the timing to be in before the masses. we've identified that sweet spot, if you will, is somewhere between a company's first $100 and $200 million years. In the industry, we refer to that as the momentum stage. What would probably be more commonly referred to as the beginning of the explosive growth stage. At that stage of development, you have a company that's been around long enough to develop some infrastructure, some stability. They now have financial resources to put money back into the distributor base, yet you also have the benefit of being in before the masses. Well, folks, as we speak, this moment, ZJ International has just entered that sweet spot. While it's extraordinary, the level of income that people have achieved in the first few years of ZJ, the fact of the matter is the top income earners in this company have not yet joined ZJ International. And so when you combine those three ingredients, experience of the corporate leadership, the right kinds of products, and then the right timing, this is what creates true long-term opportunity. What I want to do now is go back into the field. We've got Tara Windsor with us. Tara's out of Edmonton, Alberta. She's hit the platinum level of our compensation plan. Now, this is a level, while most people are still part-time, they're starting to achieve full-time income. Tara, it's been great to see your growth, great spending some time with you at the ZJ convention here in October. Take a moment, join us on the call, Tara. Share with the folks your background and what you've been doing to create the level of success you now have with ZJ International.
Thank you, Fred Holmes, for having me on the call. Can you hear me okay?
I hear you just fine. Go right ahead.
Awesome. Well, it's been a very, very exciting journey, and for myself, when I actually got involved, I was quite sick. I wasn't even looking at the business opportunity at the time. I was at pretty much what you call rock bottom in my health, as well as I was a single mom of two little babies. 11 years ago was when my health started going downhill. I ended up in brain surgery at the age of 25, and I came out of that with a stroke. And from that, I was able to get my movement back, but I ended up with nerve damage. 2010, I developed something called Raynaud's. It's a circulation issue where my hands and feet lose circulation anywhere from 15 minutes at a time to 3 to 5 times a day. It was excruciating. 2011, I developed seizure symptoms. And then on New Year's Eve of 2011, going into 12, I had a grand mal seizure. I woke up in the hospital to find myself in front of a whole bunch of doctors and them filling me full of anti-seizure medication. That anti-seizure medication they put me on, I was higher than a kite. I couldn't walk a straight line. And they took away my license for 1 full year and put me on disability and told me that I could not do any work or go back to work for a year. Well, I was very blessed with a deadbeat husband, father, that has not helped me out anyway financially. So I had 2 little babies looking at me going, what do we do? And Mommy, you need to keep a roof over their heads. So I knew I had to start with my health. My girlfriend had shared this with me. I jumped in with a builder too just to get my health back. I had my money back in my pocket within 2 weeks because she helped me just to, sell a few samples as I was getting healthy. When I actually came the results that the product gave me in 4.5 months, guys, I bursted out in tears in the middle of a meeting, and I said, how do I share this? And that day, I started sharing it, and that was September of 2012. I was able to come off of a full year of disability into a full-time income. I was able to move my kids out of a welfare area in one of the worst parts of Edmonton into Stewart Park, into a higher class community, better school, better life for them. And I did it 100% off of the income that I have been making from ZJ International. So if a single mom of two kids that had no help, really at that point, I didn't know what I was going to do, guys. Anybody and everybody can do it. All it takes is a decision, determination, and believing in yourself and believing in the team that you're building. If it wasn't for my team and for the community of the team, and all their hard-earned work, I wouldn't be able to make it to the level that I'm at. So I do put a lot of, I'm very, very grateful to have the team and very blessed to be part of ZJ International because it was all the mentorship and the leadership and everybody being there and cheering me on and making sure that they took the time to coach me and teach me for what I know. So thank you very much, Fred, for having me on this call. And I'm very, very excited to where this journey is going because really it's just getting started.
Tara, congratulations to you, not only for the results you've had on the product, but for what you've been able to do for your family. Thank you for joining us on the call. And ladies and gentlemen, you're going to hear, the longer you're around Zija, you're going to hear, in many cases, truly astounding stories of people that have been able to change their financial lives around. And what I want to share with you is that the fact of the matter is this is a business of helping people. And the people that are more focused on developing others, they're the ones that seem to become the most successful in our profession and in our company. So let's talk about a couple of things that are important to discuss right now. To become a Zija distributor, to get involved and to be able to have the opportunity to help others, whether it be from a nutritional perspective or whether it be from a financial perspective, the only requirement to be a Zija distributor is a $39 application fee, and that registers you as an independent distributor. You have the ability to be able to purchase the products directly from the company at wholesale. You have the privilege of being able to develop your own customers, and even build a team of distributors to help leverage your time. Now, one of the things that we've learned over the last few years is a system that is designed to ensure successful results. And you actually, with our first two ladies that spoke to you, heard how they were introduced. People sampled the product to them. Our sampling system has been the tried and proven way to effectively develop either a customer or a potential business partner. And so many distributors will choose to start with some product for their own personal consumption as well as for sampling out. We have three basic entry points to the Zija business. We have a personal system. It's a $330 package. It gives you several of our different products for you to personally experience. There's enough product to sample out to a few friends. It's an ideal way for somebody to start with an eye towards making a few dollars help cover the cost of some of their product. Now, for many of you, you look at Zija as a true business opportunity, and we have two builder systems, and they're actually just multiples of the personal system. Two personal systems becomes a builder one. Now, that builder one system has some significant advantages. It gives you, because it's a business package, you'll receive 50% additional product for free. So certainly a much better buying leverage, if you will. And that product is already packaged in sampling forms. You receive another benefit, and that is a 50% increase in your income potential by adding 50% to your team commissions for a period of 90 days. Now, there'll be some of you that are going to focus on developing a significant business, and we have a Builder 2 system. It's just double of a Builder 1. It now gives you enough product to not only develop your own personal, story through your own product consumption, but ample product to be able to sample out to a number of people right away to develop momentum in the early stages of your business. You'll receive an additional 50% or $600 worth of free product samples to better enable you to do that. And that 50% increase in team commissions is generated for a period of 6 months. Now, one of the things that is important to understand is in today's Zija world, things are entirely different than when people like myself started. The company has been able to provide resources to help distributors launch their business quickly. We have a program called Team 250, which literally, by simply doing what we do, sharing our product, having one or two people start as new customers, you can receive your own personal product supply for free on a monthly basis. We have another program called our Team Benz program. It's our luxury automobile program. Now, frankly, that's not that unusual in our type of business. I mean, I think many companies have luxury automobile programs. Zija is a different kind of company. What we've made a decision is rather than letting that program be just for the top income earners, we've made that program available to even our most part-time distributors. We have people working on an extremely part-time basis that now drive a luxury Mercedes-Benz automobile paid for by Zija International. There's a number of other things that are available for those of you that are looking to make a career opportunity out of ZJ International. But what I want to do right now is give you an opportunity to meet a gentleman that I had the good fortune of meeting, Phil Jacobson, probably over 20 years ago in a previous company, one of the sharpest men that I know in our industry. He has created a significant distributor organization by being the fellow who's willing to work with, teach, and train others. He's become a black diamond in our company compensation plan, today generating, frankly, a multiple six-figure annual residual income. And Phil, I'd like you to come on the line, certainly, share your background, why you got involved with us, what you've done to build your business, but I'd like you maybe to share from your perspective what's going to happen with ZJ over the next couple of years? Because that's always the question, am I getting in too late? And I think you could probably provide that perspective of what's about to happen with our company as we enter into that momentum stage.
Well, I certainly can, Fred, and thank you so much for allowing me on the call tonight. It's always a pleasure and a privilege to listen in to your calls, and it doesn't matter how well we do this business, there's always things to be learned, and it's, once again, very refreshing to always listen to your professionalism on the phone. So thanks once again for having me on. I got started in this industry. I came from the construction industry. I did not have a sales background at all. But some 25 years ago now, I was first approached by a person who had been a deckhand on a tuna fishing boat in California, of all things. And the thing that really struck me about this particular gentleman was the fact that he seemed to be happy. He was happy and enjoying himself. And he showed me a system that had an even playing field for everybody. And I immediately was interested. I said, man, I would do anything if I could be like that. And so it was a simple duplicatable system that brought me into this business, and I was able to gain some success. I was very excited when I bumped into ZJ International because of a number of things that you've already mentioned. It was just one of those situations where you knew what was going to happen. And so I actually jumped in right from the word go. I did buy a Builder 2 package. I took this very seriously. I knew that there was a system involved that I had to follow, and so that's exactly what I did. I jumped in, I learned the system, and then basically was able to duplicate my efforts through a large number of people, and that's really what brings the success in this business. It's not so much a person's individual ability, but as you said, their ability to be able to work with teams and people, different teams of people. So I've been very blessed over the last 3 years now, working with ZJ to be able to put together a very large income. But that's, as you've said, simply because of the relationships I've been able to build with other people. And that's been very, very rewarding, as I'm now seeing many of those people get to the point where they are now entering into six-figure residual incomes as well. So that's one of the most rewarding parts for me. But on a personal level, we have been able to travel extensively since we have got into this business. Having the time freedom really gives you a lot of benefits. You're able to do things that you always wanted to do but never got around to. Thanks to ZJ, we've been able to buy a beautiful home in an area that we wanted to retire in, and we've been able to move into that. As I said, extensive travel. Being able to go where you want and when you want to do it is completely free. There's lots of perks that come along with that. Fred, you've done a great job at explaining many of those perks. Obviously, we're able to drive the Mercedes as well, but it is rewarding to see many people within the group qualifying to drive a luxury automobile at the same time. The thing that's really got me the most excited with this opportunity, notwithstanding everything that we've said thus far, is simply what is going to be happening over the course of the next 18 to 24 months. I mean, when you think about it, there's a huge group of people out there that everyone's heard of. They call the baby boomer generation. And now as they're approaching retirement, they're all very concerned about health care. They've got the aching knees and elbows, and they're starting to pay attention to their health, where maybe up until now they haven't. The other thing is that as they're approaching retirement, a lot of them are looking at their retirement portfolios and realizing that, wow, it looks like they're going to retire with less money than their parents did at the same age. So there's probably more focus from this group of people now on the industry that we're part of than there has ever been up until this time. So we really do have a perfect storm of opportunity and perfect timing, which is one of the things that you were mentioning a little bit earlier on. So over the next 18 to 24 months, with the platform that this company's been able to build, anybody listening in on this call tonight, if they simply learn the system that is out there for everybody, it doesn't matter what your educational background is. I didn't have a university education, but I was able to follow a simple system that was able to put me into a six-figure residual income. And so it has been a pleasure to be able to do that. But as the company now really starts to be taken seriously by a very large demographic, I tell you, there is no better place to be at this point in time than working with this company. So, Fred, a real pleasure being able to be on the call with you. It really is a treat to be able to get in on these calls every once in a while. And thank you so much for the work that you do. It's a pleasure working with you. I'm going to hand the call back over to you, sir.
Well, Phil, thank you so much, and it's been my pleasure to work with you as well. It's really one of those unique parts of our business to be able to work with the people you like, people you respect, and then thank you so much for everything you've brought to the field, Phil, in the development of your organization and Zija in general. And ladies and gentlemen, this evening we've covered quite a bit of information the last few minutes. We talked about the three ingredients of a successful company to align yourself with as you start to develop a part-time home-based business. Experienced corporate leadership is key. The right kinds of products that really make a difference in people's lives. And then certainly timing. And you've heard a chance to hear from people from, well, frankly, different walks of life, different motivations, but all with the same story. The ability to start from home part-time and not only improve your income, but to improve time freedom. That's more important to most people. You can make a lot of money, but if you don't have a life that goes with it, what good does it do you? And then to be able to have a lot of fun. What an amazing thing to have a career where you can help others and have a lot of fun and time freedom at the same time. So what we want to do right now is two things. First, for those of you that are invited guests, I encourage you, when you get off this call, contact the person that asked you to be on the call. Get a chance to learn about our builder systems. Learn about what this could be for you over the next 12 to 24 months. Get a chance to experience our product. These are the things that have started every single one of us. And get involved. Make a decision today, because all I can tell you is 24 months from now is going to be 24 months from now, no matter what. But the real question is what are you going to do over the next 12 to 24 months to change the direction of where you'll be 24 months from now? And then secondly, for those of you who make that decision, who make a decision to commit and get involved, this isn't the end of the process, it's simply the beginning of the process. We're going to be hosting a very special fast start training call on Saturday morning. So the day after tomorrow, this call is going to be on this same conference bridge, same number, same access code. It's going to launch promptly at 8 o'clock Pacific time. That's 11 p.m. Saturday morning East Coast time. And we're going to be we're very privileged to have Paul Lovato out of Las Vegas is going to be our guest trainer on Saturday morning. He's achieved the emerald level of our company's compensation plan, certainly recognized as one of our company's top trainers. It'll be an opportunity for you to learn day one how to launch your business, how to create your own success story, and then put into place what you need to create what for many of us has become truly life-changing residual income. And so with that, folks, I'm going to go ahead and close out the call. One last shout out, special thanks to my guest speakers this evening for taking time to share their experience and their story. I'll open up the lines, close out the call. Thank you for joining us, and looking forward to having you all on our Fast Start training call on Saturday morning. The lines are open. Hey, Fred, Gary call.
Great call, Fred. Thank you.